It started the night she got the promotion. We were in our kitchen, a tiny, clean space that always smelled like fresh basil because Maya insisted we keep a plant by the window. She came home late, but glowing. "I got it," she said, nearly breathless. "They promoted me, senior project lead." I was proud. Or at least, I tried to be. Maya had been working insane hours for the past 6 months, always talking about the team, the pressure, and, more often than I liked, Anthony, her manager. Still, I pushed the feeling down. The jealousy, the insecurity. That's not who I wanted to be. She was rising fast in her career, and I was freelancing from home, trying to get a tech startup off the ground. It wasn't hard to feel small by comparison. "I'm taking you out," I told her, already searching for reservations on my phone. She laughed, kissed me on the cheek, and disappeared into the bedroom to change. We went to this Italian place she liked. She wore a black silk top, her hair curled in that soft way she only bothered with for special occasions. I couldn't stop staring at her. She was stunning, but I couldn't shake the feeling that the celebration wasn't really ours. It was hers, and maybe someone else's too. Over dinner, I asked how it happened, the promotion. She said, "It just kind of came up in my one-on-one." Total surprise. I didn't even prepare for it. Then she paused and took a long sip of wine. That pause should have meant something to me, but I let it go. The next morning, I found the hotel key card in her purse, not hidden, just there, wedged between her makeup bag and her sunglasses. Room 1512, Hyatt downtown. I stared at it for a full minute, trying to force my brain to explain it away. Maybe she had a client meeting? Maybe the team got a block of rooms for the project launch. But none of those answers felt real. They felt like mercy. I didn't confront her. I just put the key back where I found it and zipped her purse shut. That whole day, I walked around with a stomach full of wet cement. She texted me around 3 p.m. "Love you. Can't wait for the weekend. You're my home." I stared at the words and felt nothing. Not anger, not heartbreak, just distance, like I was already gone. And she didn't know it yet. That weekend, I told her I needed some space to finish a client build and that I'd be working late. She smiled, kissed me softly, and said, "You're always working so hard." "I'm lucky." The words slid off her lips too easily to rehearse. I waited 10 minutes after she left, then packed a small bag and drove to the Hyatt downtown. I wasn't planning to storm in. I wasn't even sure what I was doing. But room 1512 had been echoing in my brain for 3 days, like some kind of cursed number. The hotel was glass and gold and sterile air. I sat in the lobby, pretending to scroll my phone, watching the elevators. Nothing. Then I moved up to the 15th floor, slow, like I was floating through someone else's life. Room 1512 was at the end of the hall. I stood outside for what felt like forever. I didn't knock. I didn't need to. The do not disturb sign was still hanging, and from behind the door, I heard a man laugh. A low, private kind of laugh. Hers followed right after, soft, breathy, familiar in a way that made my chest tighten. I left. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I didn't do anything dramatic. I walked to the stairwell, sat on the concrete steps, and stared at the wall. I don't know how long I sat there. Long enough for the sun to dip low and for the hallway lights to hum awake. At some point, I opened my phone and pulled up the email Maya had forwarded me, the one announcing her promotion. I read it again, slower this time. The first line said, "We're thrilled to announce Maya Patel's promotion, following her successful collaboration with Anthony Mills on the recent Eastbridge project." Anthony. That name again. I clicked on Anthony's LinkedIn. Married, 2 kids, CFO before 35. His profile photo was exactly what I expected. Confident, expensive, polished. The kind of man Maya used to say she had no time for. When I got home, she was already in bed, pretending to sleep. I didn't say anything. I just watched her. Her body curled slightly toward my side of the bed, like it still belonged to me. I wondered if she heard my footsteps, if her heart raced even a little, if she was waiting for me to speak, scream, demand. I gave her nothing. The next morning, I made her coffee just like I always did. Oat milk, no sugar, cinnamon on top. She smelled like everything was normal. I smiled back. That night, I started gathering evidence. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I knew I needed to end this clean. Because love doesn't make you blind. It just asks you to look away until you can't anymore. The thing about betrayal is, it doesn't explode. It erodes. Over the next week, I became to people the boyfriend who made dinner, smiled at her stories, and held her at night, and the stranger collecting screenshots, printing hotel receipts, and building a quiet case. She never noticed. Or maybe she did, and just hoped I wouldn't follow through. I didn't confront her with a dramatic blow-up. No stage scene, no shouting. Instead, I met with a lawyer, told him everything, showed him everything. We weren't married, but we'd lived together for nearly 4 years, signed a lease together, shared accounts. I wanted to walk away clean. She could keep the promotion, the job, even the apartment, if she wanted, but not me. One night, I came home early. She was on the couch, legs tucked under her, laptop open, wearing one of my old hoodies. She looked safe, like the woman I fell in love with. I thought you were working late, she said. Surprised, I finished early, I replied, placing a manila envelope on the coffee table. She didn't touch it at first, just stared. What's this? My exit, I said quietly. She blinked. Inside the envelope, a letter, a list of my items I'd be collecting tomorrow. And evidence, the receipts, the calendar screenshots, the hotel key photo, even a printed text from Anthony calling her my prize. She didn't deny it. She just whispered, I didn't mean to fall. I nodded. I didn't mean to find out. Tears came fast. She grabbed my hand, begged me to talk, to yell, to fight. But there was nothing left in me. No anger, just a dull ache, like frostbite, the kind that hurts more as it starts to heal. I thought you'd never know, she said. I smiled, and it was the saddest thing I've ever felt. That's the part that hurts the most. She tried to stop me as I left, but she didn't follow. The next day, I picked up my things, left my key on the counter, and walked out without a word. A week later, I moved into a small one-bedroom across town. Quiet building, creaky floors, good light, peaceful, no pretending. I don't hate her. I don't wish her failure, but I'll never forget what it felt like to sit outside that hotel room, hearing her laugh through the door. I carry that sound with me, not as a wound, but as a warning. You can love someone with your whole heart and still have to walk away when they hand it to someone else.